This video is completely different from something that I've recorded for this channel. It is DevLog. I do feel like talking about my life as a person who is not yet a game developer, but is learning to be one. I switched from self-improvement to game dev because I get bored of talking about self-improvement and they don't get many views, so... Every great idea starts with stealing it from someone else. For me, it was Danny's old devlog videos. I felt super inspired to just share that I'm not lazy shit and I can make some progress too. So after working on my first draw for the weekly pre-devlog, I wrote some schedule for the whole week just for the sake of writing it. And said to make it clear for me that from now on every week starts on Sunday. Just because why not? Then after all of this, I hit the sack. No. I caught some Z's and loaded on Sunday. I started Sunday like I never did. I started by meditating for 10 minutes, non-stop. It was super hard. Then went to feed my rabbits, eat some sausages, and started learning some Unreal Engine 5. After a couple of hours of learning, I realized that I was going with my family to see my grandparents. So my plans were ruined, but who cares, right? After I got there, I pretty much did nothing, except maybe walking and playing with animals. As soon as we got home, I wrote a plan of what I need to learn in Unreal Engine, learned something, and realized that I do smell. So I went to shower, came back, and started working on my homework for uni. After homework, I started learning Adobe Animate. It was pretty much fun, and I even learned how to animate some text. It is Monday and I need to go to uni. It is literally an hour long away from my home, so there is pretty much nothing to do except thinking. Definitely recommend you to try it if you want to improve yourself as a human being. And at uni, on the worst lesson ever, which is descriptive geometry, I started to develop my first game that uses some knowledge that I've learned from Sunday. But when I came back, I just wasted the entire day by watching some funky videos. I don't know what happened, probably because I was a little bit tired when I ate lunch, and when I'm tired I usually want to rest, so at noon I developed a strategy to rest in other way, and mostly it is all by playing with toys, like, I do like to solve some Rubik's Cubes, so let me give it a try. As always, I went to uni, came back and played with the Rubik's Cubes, but the problem is, I almost spent the whole day just to fix 2 USB ports on the back of my PC, and it didn't work out. So I just added an extra USB port from inside and pulled out from that big black hole. After being destroyed by my PC, I remembered that I needed to work on my homework for descriptive geometry, so I drew for a bit and went to bed. I woke up with the worst lust possible. I thought it would destroy my day right from the start, but after remembering some good words from Dr. K, I just started to pace. That somehow did work, and my lust disappeared almost immediately. Then I went to uni. And after I ended my pairs or classes, I don't know how to say it, I needed to, submit my homework to a geometry teacher. But on that day, he wasn't free up until 4 PM and I needed to spend another 3 hours on mine. So I went to uni's libraries that has some PCs and started to learn Japanese. After that, I didn't submit my homework because I made so many mistakes in it, so I needed to redo it once more. I came back to home, and right away I watched another 16 random ass videos, reinstalled my Windows for no reason, and said to myself that I'd do another dopamine detox. I will change my mind after a couple of days, but for now, let's hit the sack. On another day, I went to uni, came back, and boom, reorganized my surroundings because I thought that environment actually makes the difference in productivity, which somehow does work, and now I have 2 tables. After working on my homework for a couple of hours, I started to learn some new words in Japanese, and Game Genko is the best. This guy puts so much effort into his work, and if I'll be popular, I'll do my best to make his subscribers go up. I genuinely want to help this for some reason. Anyway, after I checked my watch and realized that I walked a lot today, I went to catch some Z's. Another day in uni, this time after I came back, I watched some videos by Thomas Frank and learned some productivity techniques that you probably don't know, and went at a to-do list, which is helpful in some ways, but at that day I didn't realize that the problem with my productivity is not in to-do lists or Pomodoro timers. It's basically with my expectation about work. So I do have super high expectations, but on that day I didn't know that, so I started to use Anki, which is a super great app, but it was super hard for me to just learn from it. Then after learning a couple of words, then I started to learn Kiwi, which is a framework for Python to work with, environments or UI, mostly, as I know. I started to learn Kiwi for my uni project, so I learned it for a couple of hours, then went to bed. On this day I didn't record a shit, because I had so much housework to do and I pretty much ended up watching a lot of videos, so many of them. I didn't want to work on my videos at all because I said to myself, today I will learn as much as possible about why I cannot do something I want to do. After journaling, researching and thinking a lot, I understood that the problem is that I have high expectations about myself, so whenever I do something as expected, I don't feel accomplished, which has been my biggest problem for the past years, probably. After learning how to lower my expectations, that technique, by the way, is to stay focused on yourself, don't compare your work with others, and whenever you do something, say that you will do the work as close as the level you want to accomplish the work. That way you will leave some space for yourself to not be perfect and make some mistakes. I used this technique right away and I said I'll do as close as possible the shittiest game ever. And it did work pretty well. I did make a little game where you can throw yourself to a pit of balls and play with them. Even though the game is simple and doesn't have any end goals, I do like it. It is my first game and that's how the journey of a game developer starts. But we still have one more day to go. I woke up and right away set on my PC to check the technique even more. The first thing I needed to do was to write script for this exact video. Even though I hated writing scripts for videos because previously it was tedious and boring, but not this time. I will write a script as good as I can. And it was super easy to write the whole script from the start to close to finish in just 2 hours. There were some high expectations after I started to check misspellings and tried to think of something better, but words like I don't know if the video will be popular or not, the only thing I can do is to put some effort into it. I didn't say that this video will be good, I said it will be close to it, as close as I can. Everything became super easy once more. Then I recorded the voiceover for this exact video, then started to editing the video, and I don't know what to do next. So let me actually just process this whole video and I'll see is this actually good or not.